just open it up with questions for Mike. Fire away.
Mike, you guys never trailed in this game. Was tight in the last 7 or 6 minutes. How did you guys finish this thing off, get another SEC win?
Converted at the foul line, got a couple stops. Emery, huge shot. Jabri, huge shot. Thought we played with confidence when the game got close a couple times. I liked our offensive level again of confidence, especially when we were struggling to put together some stops there. Arkansas just kept coming. I thought Mark down the stretch was really good, with hitting shots and also getting to the rim and drawing fouls.
Justin talked about that confidence, winning 10 straight, first time since the 40s that's happened here. In what ways do you see that confidence come out?
Shots going in, shot selection. I told our guys after we didn't really flinch in this. It's 5th or 6th game like that where games can go the other way if your body language is a little bit different. You got guys looking at each other like, oh my goodness, maybe we're not supposed to win this one, and who's going to step up and hit a shot for us? But this team been pretty good in that regard. I don't know where we finish, how good this team will ultimately be, but we're getting better. Arkansas obviously is a really good program, and this is a really good win for us. And I like not the way we're always executing. Don't always love our shot selection, but I like our level of confidence right now. We need that in our league against the best. It's the best defensive league in college basketball.
Coach, there were a lot of fouls called in that second half tonight. How are you able to overcome that and kind of develop a rhythm when the game just stops so often?
It's just part of the game, there's going to be other games like that as well. You just got to respond and move on, move on to the next play, whether it's offensively or defensively. And you got to adjust to officials too. If it's a foul, it's a foul. Get your hands off. We've got to do a better job of that. Both teams fouled a little bit too much in the second half, of course, but it'll happen again. It's part of the game.
What does it say for you guys that Jabri doesn't have this normal shooting night, and that, like you said, you guys never trailed and found ways to still score?
Boy, we're pretty balanced. I think we had another 40 off the bench. Our bench has been great with production, not only offensively but defensively. And it's another good point I should have mentioned earlier with Jabri in terms of our team's level of offensive resolve. Right, he goes one of something, whatever he went. 1 of 8, 1 of 6 from 3, and that one he made, well, that was a huge shot. That was a loud shot. His confidence never wavers. And, he's one of the best shooters in the league, and we needed that one to go down.
I was going to ask you about him in your backcourt in general. I didn't know how to classify him necessarily, but
plays everywhere, right?
He's a plus 16.
Yeah.
Despite that, so what was he doing right? Why were you? Can he play more minutes than anybody? Why were you keeping him out there?
Yeah, just he definitely played with presence defensively and on the glass, even on the offensive glass. The numbers won't show it, but he got his hands on basketballs. He's very vocal. I thought he played well outside of the way, obviously, that he shot it, but he took good ones, and as a staff, you sit there and tell yourself the law of averages will kick in, and eventually 1 or 2 are going to go for him because he's such a good shooter, and obviously the one did that helped us win the game.
25 points off of turnovers. Just how did you see y'all's defense set yourselves up on the other end of the floor?
Did a good job of tracing the basketball and getting tips, collapsing at times on some of their post passes and post drives. I thought our guys played really, really hard. I thought both teams did, and we needed every one of those turnovers. I thought they did a really good job. In fact, on a couple of turnovers where we had numbers and didn't get anything out of it, just a hard played game by both teams.
Another big game for Justin. Just how have you seen him make the most of that role off the bench?
Yeah, he's a starter. He's one of our best players. Him and Jabri got to be in a conversation for 2 of the most improved players in our league. Justin's playing with a high level of confidence, of course. He was terrific tonight.
We've seen home court advantage play such a big factor early in SEC play. Tennessee beat Ole Miss big last week, loses to Mississippi State on the road today. Ole Miss beats Florida big at home today. How huge is it that you're getting Tennessee at home this early in the season, having a ranked team like that come in?
Getting any team in our league at home is better. You know, you when you travel in this league, you hold your breath. You know, and you hope to be competitive these days in this league. So we're really fortunate, of course. The other day, played really well. We wish they were all in the steg, especially the way they showed up tonight for the late tip at 9 o'clock, especially our student section. We're really appreciative.
What are you looking for just in these next few practices, getting ready for that game against Tennessee?
You know, it seems like we tip it up here in a few hours, right? Noon on Saturday. By the time I'm done with my pizza, it's going to be 12:30 a.m. There's not a lot we can do physically tomorrow, especially with some of these guys. But, you know, we'll start the mental preparation, get after them there on Friday, and then wake up and tip it up on Saturday.
We won't get you before, but what's the first thing that springs to your mind when you think of Tennessee and Rick Barnes?
Great AD. The utmost respect for what they've accomplished since he's gotten there. They're going to be extremely prepared and disciplined and tough mentally and physically. I think this current Tennessee team is just like a few that he's had that has a chance to go to a Final Four. I really do. I think this Tennessee team is really, really good, and we'll have to play our best game of the year to have a chance down the stretch.
Any other questions for Mike?
What would you say? I guess it's sorry.
Oh, yes.
I guess it's known kind of when you lose, you learn from losses, right? But you guys have lost in 10 games. What
Yeah.
would you say you learned about your team over the 10-game win streak?
We've learned a lot throughout the wins. Roles have been defined a little bit over time, especially with 9 new guys. I've learned that this group's resilient, that this group is going to come again tomorrow ready to work and prepare. This group's really competitive. They like each other. This group has an ability to coach each other as well and hold each other accountable to a pretty high standard. Needs to continue to improve, but we'll learn from this win as well. Like, we'll watch, and I'm sure every team in our league's doing it, but we'll watch some Arkansas stuff tomorrow before we even start talking about Tennessee. This time of year, without a day off in between, we'll consolidate it a little bit more than, when you've got a week to prepare for some of these non-conference games. But there's things to learn from wins and losses for sure.
Thanks, Mike.
Felt like another game where last 6-7 minutes, it's anybody's ball game. How did you guys finish this one out?
Just getting stops. I think that was the biggest thing. The crowd played a huge factor for it. We really appreciate them. But, Tramon Mark got going. He's a really good guard, so we had to try to make adjustments, in the last 6 minutes.
It seems like home field or home court advantage has been big in the SEC. Mississippi State beat Tennessee today at the hump. You've seen teams that have lost to each other, win bigger games at home. How big is that to have Tennessee coming in at home this early in the season?
It's going to be a big one. I think our crowd is like the 6th man out on the floor. So, we really appreciate what they do. They make it loud. They make it, rocking in there, and it makes a hostile environment for them to come in and play.
I know you guys have won 10 in a row, 2-0 in the SEC. What's working well for this group, you think?
Playing defense. I've said it all season. Like, that's kind of what we hang our hats on. Is just defending and rebounding, because it's going to be games we're not going to be able to make shots. So if we can defend and guard people, that's one thing we can control every single game.
What did you feel like was working for you in that first half, just offensively?
They were really aggressive. Credit to their guys the way they were defending. The main point of emphasis was they were going to down ball screen, so I tried to beat the first defender and get to my floater, get to my mirror, so it just kind of was going for me all game, so I kept going to it.
Justin had a big game off the bench. Just what does he bring you guys with the role he plays on this team?
I'm a leader. He's our 6th starter in my opinion, and we have a lot of 6 starters in my opinion. But he comes in and he takes control of the game, and he's like a coach on the floor. So I'm proud of how he played today, and we need him to keep being that well for us to have success like we are having.
Like we said, 10 wins in a row. How hot does this team feel right now?
I think we have a lot of confidence. We try not to look too much into it. We try to just take it one day at a time. The goal is to celebrate tonight, get some rest, and tomorrow let's get back in practice and get ready for Tennessee.
You banked in a three that I don't think you were meaning to, but you were pretty happy. And then a couple more true threes and later in the game. How big was getting a good roll and making shots that you usually make?
We at home, so a lot of the shots that we make might be because it's the home court advantage. I just kind of put my hands in the air and just thank the basketball guys for making that one.
When you're playing a team like Arkansas and Tennessee will be this way on Saturday, coming off of a loss, just how big of a difference can you tell in their energy and effort?
They wanted to come in here and get a win, so I think that's the main thing that we have to pay attention to is that they're going to be hungry, they're going to be sharp, so we got to come in here and run our stuff and play defense.
I feel like we play with each other and we all know our roles and nobody steps out of it, and if they do, they're going to apologize to some. Everybody's together, and I think we're just connected more than most teams.
Justin, you and Noah had a big night scoring. Are you having flashbacks to AAU?
Yeah, it was like 6th grade, long time ago, but yeah, we're kind of used to this a little bit.
What do you feel like he brings offensively to you guys?
A lot of scoring, and he draws a lot of attention. So when people are all over him, he kicks it out, make the right play, and it just makes everybody better.
Another game where the last probably 7 or 6 minutes of it could have gone either way. What do you feel like was the key in you guys finishing this thing off?
Just staying in the moment and not getting too rattled or anything like that. Just staying in the moment.
Longest win streak at Georgia since the 40s. Just how confident is this team going out there each night?
Really confident. We expect to be in these type of games. We expect to win these games. So we're just gonna keep trying to play basketball how we've been playing and see what happens.
Obviously, you were part of this team last year. What can you tell a difference between that confidence this year and last year?
Yes, it's a big difference. We had a decent team last year, but I think we have more talent this year, all down the roster. So it's a big difference.
When did you know that you guys had more talent? When was it in the off season sometime? Or?
Yeah, practice, first couple practices.
Yeah.
That's when I figured it out.
What is the key to carrying this forward? Because you guys got another big test on Saturday. How do y'all carry this forward and get ready to play Tennessee?
Just do what we've been doing. Just trying to be really focused in practice, going hard, and being really detail orientated, and really focus on our opponent.
How big was having a home crowd, and what do you feel like that'll do as far as helping you guys on Saturday?
It was really big. It might have been the game changer, most likely. So we hope to see them again Saturday.
When you're playing a team like Arkansas, and this will be the case with Tennessee Saturday, it's coming off of a loss. Just how much can you sense sense of desperation out of them and extra energy and effort?
Yes, we know they're going to practice hard, and after a loss, they're definitely going to bring it. So we just got to be ready for anything.
It was a night where Degree obviously struggled with scoring. What does it say about the rest of the team that you guys were able to step up and kind of carry it?
Everybody just do what we always do, play our role, and if it's not one guy's night, we know it's going to be somebody else's. So we don't panic too much.